Hey, it's Biddy Penny. Welcome back to my channel. Today it's time for Oh So Inspired. On the 20th of the month, this collaboration team posts a video inspired by another artist. So this one is Chris Smith, Inkpad1 on Instagram. Look at this lovely card. If you use the hashtag and use a playlist in my description box so that you don't miss any of the team's inspiration. All right, you guys really fell in love with this paper pad and or this collection from 49th and Market, and so I'm going to use it again. I'm just kind of going through and looking at things and deciding which pages I want to use. So here's what I wanted to do. I wanted to give you ideas of how to get an embossed look, or the idea of an embossed look, without an embossing folder, without a machine. This is for people who maybe are just starting in the hobby. They don't have a lot of supplies, but they love this look. It was the look that I wanted to make in card making, so I fell in love with card making because of embossing folders. But, that's an investment. You've got to have a die cutting machine to roll them through, right? So my first idea for you is a stencil and stencil paste. And that's because with something like this light and fluffy, which you can tell I love, this is my second bottle of it. You get great dimension. And if you do something like this white paste on a white background, then that would give you, I think, the closest look to an embossed paper, but any tone on tone would do. And I'm actually going to end up showing you another stencil trick with this card. But see, that kind of gives you that feeling of something being embossed. Well, then I got into my stencils and I was like, I want to keep going. So all of these cards are for donation. They're for the Mindless Crafting card drive that's going on right now. I'm going to leave the information for that linked down below too, in case you want to make cards for soldiers. But this one, I'm going to use embossing powder. And so I'm using, this is a Tim Holtz embossing ink dauber. I love this thing. And I'm just embossing this silhouette of this little girl. And then I'm going to fill that in with the embossing powder. Now, obviously here, I've kind of gone away from, getting the embossed look. That was really the first example that I gave you. But then these are just more ideas. Another idea is to use something like a background stamp like this one my friend Rhonda sent me. And I'm going to emboss that across the back of a sheet of paper, and using a background stamp or stamping a small stamp multiple times and then embossing it. That kind of looks like a dry embossed sheet of paper. I know it can all get a little confusing here. We're talking about heat embossing when you use a stamp and ink and powder. That's heat embossing. And then there's dry embossing where you use a texturized folder. You put your paper in it. It's a sandwich, and you roll it through a die cutting machine. I thought Chris's card was gorgeous. I absolutely adore embossing folders, but I'm making this video for you guys, and I know that there's a lot of new crafters here among us. And so, I am giving you ideas to help you stretch the things that you already have so that you can try different looks in your card making. So I hope that that is what you can really pull from this video. I love those balloons on that really fun background. So I'm going to put these cards together. The other thing that Chris did was obviously had die cut the edge of his paper in a scalloped way. And again, you may not have a die cutting machine. You may not have dies. Just use a paper trimmer like I'm going to do here, and you can cut your paper at an angle. They sell those scissors that get different cuts to them. You could draw on a piece of paper of an interesting shape and use that as a template and cut it out that way. I wish I would have shown y'all that in this video. I thought about it afterwards when I was working on a junk journal, because sometimes we make scalloped envelope top edges, and I have templates for that. But yeah, you could draw or cut a funky shape on a copy weight sheet of paper and then use that to sketch on your panel and cut at different shapes. So there's ways around having all the equipment. If you don't have all the equipment, don't think you can't draw inspiration and make a card if you really like it. So that's why I chose to go a completely different way than products. I wanted to take my most basic supplies and show you ideas on how to make these cards. And I ended up with 6 cards to add to my donation stack. So now I'm up to 32. My goal is 100. Okay, you guys, I was playing with this card and I was like, okay, I need to do something else. This is just too plain for me. So I distressed the edges with my blue brush, and this color is just called Dirty Brush Blue. Yeah, but I was like, okay, that's better, but it's still not popping for me. So then I got this idea. I don't know why I've never thought of this before, but since my paste is completely dry, I lay the same stencil back over the top of it. And now I'm creating a mask to keep the rest of the paper clean, and I'm just using ink and going over the top of my paste through this stencil to just color those flowers. And I love it. Why have I not done that before? So I was so excited. I was like, oh, game changer. So then I grabbed my next sheet of paper and thought, okay, well, what color of flowers do I want to distress across there? And I decide on purple. Now, clearly it's going to be a pinkish purple because I didn't clean my stencil, but it's fine. It's all fine. It will match, no problem at all. So now I'm doing a purple flower on this one. Yeah, like this is a hack, y'all. I stumbled upon a hack. I think that's how they happen anyways. So then I'll distress the edges of this one, and I definitely like these better. I'm going to add sentiments, and because this is for a card drive, I can't add any embellishments, but if I could, I would definitely be putting like sequins on this, or my favorite is pearls. I'd be adding pearls to it. So here are the cards that I made. Yes, I know that's a new backdrop. It might be the last time you see it. I don't really like it. But here's 2 cards I made for anniversaries. Love those colors. Again, those are paste that are tone on tone. I lost the footage for that. But here is the embossing glaze, and turned this into a birthday card, and this one as well. I added some sentiments that one of my friends, Mary, had sent me, and just some random ephemera, y'all. Like, that's what these are. These very random but fun cards. And I love the way that they came out. I hope this video really inspires you, 1, to love the things you have, find a way to use them to create new things, and be inspired. I can't wait to see what everyone makes. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Bye.